You tell me I'm wrong, 'cause I'm dead on the floor. With that, you throw me out, 'cause I went there and for
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:32. It is December 26th. I hope everyone had a great holiday, great Hanukkah, great Christmas, spent time with their friends, their family. Maybe got a few presents. Maybe had some good food. All I know is if you can't have a good time during the holidays, I don't know when you're going to have a good time. And if you happen to be back at your office, sitting in your seat, well, you better be prepared as possible because it sucks to lose money during the holidays, and the market's been pretty forgiving. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com, founder of Red Dog Mindset. A lot of people a week ago was like, Red Dog, is there going to be a Santa Claus move? Well, right here, when the S&P cash took back the 8 and 21 day and the moving averages, this pretty much said, ding-a-ling-a-ling, Santa Claus is on its way. You don't hear the bells listening to the networks and the people who play traders on TV. You listen to the bell ring, when the chart shows you and the action warrants it. And that's when you have to figure out what you could do, how you could execute, and how to push the buttons and make money. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since like 1998. I've seen traders come and go, talented traders that have made really good money in a year, but they're not even keel enough. They don't have their mind right. Highs get too high, lows get too low, get on tilt. So anyway, what I've done is I've tried to, create a framework where you could get your mind right so you can execute on the X's and O's. You could, get your morning workout. And I already woke up this morning. I did my 20 at 5:20, which was actually it wasn't online because I don't do that on Fridays. And I usually don't do the 6:30 club on Fridays, but figured it was the holiday. I'm in town. My son plays basketball, so he's not allowed to go on vacation. We have a big summer tournament tomorrow, winter tournament. So I'm like, if I'm going to be here, let me say hello to some of my dogs. And, I'm going to be doing my own homework. I'm going to be getting my own self together. I'm doing my own chart work. So, I enjoy doing it, usually in the best mood in the morning. Some people, I'm not a morning person. I'm like, how could you not be a morning person? It's when you're the most alive. You woke up, your body's rested. Hopefully you had a workout. I've already been in the ice barrel, and now I'm ready to go. But anyway, hope everyone's feeling well. Let me say good morning to some of my dogs. We got Thomas in the house. Good morning. We got Merry Christmas from Tiniette. We got Nuno. We got Space Guy. We got Space Specialist. We got, everyone chatting it up already. We got Dubai in the house. We got we got Florida in the house. Good morning, Scott. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a bit better. Thank you for asking. So let's quickly go to the spies here. The spies also, obviously if the S&P cash got above the 8 and 21 days, so did the spies right over here. All you had to do is get long right here. Look at that. You could have trailed your stops, higher lows the whole way up into highs. It's been a nice methodical move. The Qs even led the way. I try and have fun with everybody, and we were talking about doji style. Anybody like a doji style? Well, yeah, maybe 20 years ago I liked the doji style, but anyway, well, it's doji style is fun every now and then. But you had a nice little doji here. If you remember, that was after the light PMI, and then right when we cleared this spot was when I know for me I put on some risk, and I've been managing a portfolio approach. I have an open house with a bunch of guys in here, testing out the alpha team, which is my crew, and made some good money. I think I made money 7 out of 8 days. Not huge money, but pretty good. I know a lot of people, hey, what's up, Ali? Hopefully having fun over there. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe this move in silver and gold. Well, you look at silver, and obviously it's not, you know, it's it's definitely some people are like, wow, I can't believe it. But if you looked at the chart, you'd be like, doesn't this just look like a normal clean chart where you had your first initial move, consolidated, was above the moving averages, gave you a power gap above a prior high. This is when we had the 49.5 silver calls on. It was awesome. Went to 54. That's when I taught you guys in the 630 club how to roll options. Rolled out of the 49.5s into the 54s. And to be honest, I was done with silver right here pretty much. This outside day right there, I said, okay, it's enough for me. I carved out two great spots. And now look where it is. Some guys are actually rolling up shorts and they're getting their clock cleaned. And I've learned my lesson. I don't just short sectors because I'm out of it. If you want to buy puts here or there, you want to test it, it's fine. But you look at silver today, it's like, wow. A lot of people, talking about silver like, oh my God, I got to get in. It's going to 100. Well, you got to still figure out the right way to do it. And to buy it today above 67 for your first buy in silver, I do not suggest it. Do what you want. Anyway, gold also, really nice move. We've had two power plays in gold. For those who like to be told what to do, Red Dog has a service where I tell you what to do. Not Redler All Access, where I do my 40 charts every day, which I will be doing as soon as I'm done with this. Not the Alpha team that gets to see everything live, which they do. So this is my positions right now with the Alpha team. I don't have a lot on. These are my longs for now. My options pop back up at 10 to 8, so this doesn't show my options. It just shows my positions. Little spread out, Apple, Amazon, Dash. I bought some Chinese K-Web, and then I've been building. RKT was new. Tesla, I've been trying. Remember that breakout to 498.50. UMAC, I like. We had that below 10. That was a great trade. Some drones, some cannabis. So I'm managing a bunch of things that I'm also trying to day trade to make people money day trading and also day trading around my positions. So I've been doing this for a while. But anyway, I don't have any more gold on. We did have gold on as a power play. We put it on right here, right there, the 391s, and sold them pretty well. Now gold is opening above 413. When my sell rules, if I was long GLD, which I am not long GLD right now, I'd be trimming into that. Trim into that. You have to. And if you're looking for a cute short, well, do it versus a level. And then if it fails to hold 413.75, maybe it comes in and gives you that kind of day like this one did over here. But anyway, what a trend. Congratulations to everybody. Congratulations to the gold bugs. Congratulations to the baby boomers. My dad's still alive. A lot of guys, a lot of all his friends, they've been buying gold and they've been hoarding it, every single month for a while. And I can't even get them to sell any of it still. They're like, I don't want to pay taxes. Okay. Anyway, since I've been in silver for years, my brother, he's been buying silver for 10 years. And he sends me pictures all the time. Oh, look how much silver I have. I'm like, okay. You want to buy me dinner? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, that's cool. Listen, I wish success for everybody. So when the sector's working like this, congratulations. I know, a few years ago when crypto was going parabolic, all the Gen X's and everyone's like, oh, yelling at the boomers like, yo, old man. But anyway, Bitcoin's up for the first time in a little while. I actually bought options on, which aren't right here, on what was it, Wednesday. See if it matters. Bitcoin is barely hanging on here. As long as it's not a headwind, at least it's not like holding back tech or making people a little worried. You have three little higher lows. You have 80,000, 83, 84. It's tight here. Kind of get up to the 50-day. And it could be a trade. But if you've been hyper-focused on Bitcoin because of gold and silver, you've been missing a lot of action. Hopefully you haven't done the – what up, Father Joe? Father of Fu says, I wasn't expecting you on a Friday. Well, I do not do the 6:30 club on Friday, but I am in the process of thinking about doing it for all of 2026, or at least the first quarter, and go Monday through Friday instead of Monday through Thursday if I get enough people to sign up for Red Dog Mindset. So if you're watching me on Twitter, that subscribe button right there, hit the subscribe button. $10 a month. For $10 a month, I got this morning. This was $4.95 for the day. So this cost me $25 a week. So I'm saying for $10 a month, you could lock yourself into the 6:30 club Monday through Friday for 2026. If you don't feel like doing it, then you might be in a position one day where you cannot watch a 6:30 club. So if you enjoy the 630 Club, you've been watching it for free since 2020. So we've been doing it for free since 2020. Then you might want to subscribe above and and play along and not just go for the free rides everywhere. But anyway, with that said, if you don't want to do it, that's cool too. So this is Bitcoin. We'll see what happens here. Maybe we get towards the 50-day. As far as mega cap tech, some guys like, hey, we finally caught a decent trade in Apple. Yeah, it wasn't a blockbuster trade. It was just something to do. I was long a lot of 270, 250 calls, but I also bought it into weakness, and I sold most and I rolled them up for next week into the 275s. It would be nice if Apple starts acting better. Remember this red dog reversal sell in Apple? That was a good sell. That was after a nice methodical move that we had in power plays too. And now we're trying to see if it can kind of get going again. Doesn't look so great, but it's something to do. Amazon also caught a decent trade in here. I was telling you guys I was buying the 230 calls pretty perfectly. Made 200% on the Amazon calls. That's nice. Now it looks like maybe it could work towards 239. There's a void here. It's not explosive, but it's something to do. When you're here at your desk and you want something to do that's calculated, Amazon was something to do. Apple was something to do. NVIDIA has been much better too. A lot of people, I know I talked to a lot of institutional guys that are friends of mine have been doing this for 30 years. They were psyched. A lot of them are in the private deal of the company that NVIDIA took over. They're all getting 20 times on their money. So I'm listening to them all talk. I'm like, all right, these guys just make, 20 times on their money. That's cool. Guess they don't need to trade so much. Just make 20 times on your money in the private market. But anyway, for those of you who grind it out like me, that need to make a few thousand a day or sometimes more than that, well, NVIDIA looks pretty good. If you remember, we talked about how if NVIDIA can get above this 176, it would be a better active sequence. I was in it on Friday, actually. I didn't stay with it. But it looks like it can get above this 189 change and get towards 191. So NVIDIA looks better. Tesla's also rebuilding. Tesla looks pretty good up here. If you remember last week, it looked like it was going to take out 495. It looked like it was ready to go to 500 and be electric. Electric, get it? But it wasn't. So you had to manage it. Doesn't mean after a little sideways action, it won't try again. The question is, do you want to buy options for January 2nd, which is next Friday? Does that give you enough time? Or do you go out a week further just in case there's new funds and the market starts off strong? Then maybe Tesla will be in play for that. Right now, I'm in TSLL ETF, and I'm also in Tesla shares. I'm not in any options. I made some money on some, and I lost money on some. But anyway, Palantir is consolidating. Palantir kind of looks like Tesla. Palantir held up well, gave you a nice trade, and didn't really pull back much. Right in here is where my guys are buying Palantir, give you another trade through this 188, hit 198. This also looks like, this is one of the names that's closest to the all-time highs, closest. So it should be in play. So there is two schools of thought, though, that happen towards the end of the year, which I used to talk about on CNBC all the time when I used to go on CNBC, when they used to let you come on and not talk about anything else, before going on there, which was a decade or so ago. But anyway, talk about how strong stocks get stronger into the end of the year because nobody wants to sell them to pay taxes. But sometimes into the new year, the strong names get sold because finally you could sell them, and then you're not paying taxes in 2026. You're paying taxes in another year, so you don't really care. So sometimes these names get a little shaken up. So just be a little careful on your sizing if you're playing the strongest names into the year end. That's the opposite of the January effect. A lot of people are like, Red Dog, what are you doing for the January effect? What names do you think will stop being sold and could lift and give you really nice moves? Some guys were buying Nike before they heard the news, okay, because Nike's been hammered. Chances are Nike wants to fill this gap. Tim Cook bought a bunch of it, so that's a play. Some guys are in Kava, which is having a nice move that could see the 200-day. If you remember, this was like 140 plus. So I would think this could see 70. These food stocks got really beaten up. So if you think, people are just done taking their losses, which they probably might be soon, this could continue. I'm in CMG, which is Chipotle. Yes, Chipotle, 69, 66, 58, 47. I like this into January 16th. I just rolled options. What does rolling options means? It means I was long the $35 calls down here, and I made a lot of money. And now it looks like it can continue maybe towards 40s or more. So what I'll do is instead of having the $35 calls where there's a lot of equity in there, I'll roll them into like a 39 or a 40 to have a continued move by rolling up the calls. Is Snap? Yeah, Snap could be a decent January effect name. Snap is horrendous overall. It's just been probably one of the worst names ever, considering how much optimism is usually around there. But it could be. This Snap could go from maybe 785 to 850. So that's a 200. Any of these broken names have room to the 200-day if they want to for the January effect. So, we'll see how that goes. MU is different. MU is a leader. MU, guys caught. I was on. I was on some video with the guys from TrendSpider, and we were talking about how you could be long versus a gap pivot. What's a gap pivot? Well, it gapped up post. This actually came out with earnings after Broadcom was a disappointment, Oracle was a disappointment, so everybody was expecting MU to be a disappointment. Instead, it wasn't. Gapped up. You could have been long versus 246 and had yourself a really nice swing trade. Now it's a little extended, but yeah, it shows you that there is some power out there if you're in the right place, and MU is one of them. Someone asked me what my favorite Chinese name is going into next year. I don't know, I kind of think Baidu's set up. Baidu's nice and tight. If you look here, doesn't this look nice and tight? A lot of decent news surrounding this. So if China wanted to get going, to me, Baidu could be something for you to put on your radar for next year. It looks pretty good. What's my hold duration for levered ETFs? I don't really trade levered ETFs. I will buy an ETF, but I don't really trade options on them that much. I have too much buying power. I can do pretty much what I want. What drinks are getting expensive? Oh, iced coffees. Yeah, $5, right? Anyway, I'm still in some drone names. One of my best trades just happened out of nowhere last week. I bought UMAC down here on this candle. I bought a big like a portfolio or of drone names, and this one was also a power play. It still is here, and it went all the way up to 13 and change. It's not even at this downtrend. So, this has been a good trade, great power play, new name. Not a new name, but a new position from last week. But I bought a few of them that haven't been as good. I did buy some RDW. This is rebuilding. I hear they're going to get a big order from the Golden Dome, so I'm trying to buy this and accumulate it. ACHR, I'm also in that too, but I'm just accumulating it. Sometimes there are trades that have momentum, and sometimes there are accumulation trades if you have the wherewithal to do that. Joby also, to me, is an accumulate. I've been trying to accumulate it. It's been out of play, not great. Sometimes you play stocks in motion, and sometimes if you can handle it, you accumulate it for it to trigger and go. That's why I use a tier system. Mike Morantz's FIG seems like a good January effect. What, FIG? Yeah, that could be a January effect. From 120 to 40. Wow, this has been crushed. Looks like it's trying to, I don't know much about this, but yeah, any name that's been battered and bruised and just indiscriminately thrown out because everyone is making so much money elsewhere that they just can't even look at them anymore. They turn into what I call a trash for treasure trade. You know what that is? Someone else's trash could be your treasure. So that's kind of what the January effect is. And on 12/26, that's what you can start looking at, some January effect. I make so much money in January effect names. It's so much fun sometimes. I hate buying broken names, but every now and then there's a certain time of year and a time and place for it. So this does look like one. A bunch of lithium names are doing well, led by ALB. Okay, let's see what that looks like. From Jay Rice. Yeah, look at, well, this is not a January. This is a leader. Look at this thing going. This thing's above the 8-day, above the 8 and 21 day. That's a strong trend. What's it doing this morning? ALB is up $4. Wow, it's a nice trade. Congratulations. When I think of lithium, what's LEC doing? Not much. And then doesn't America have a stake in this? So maybe this could get going. LAC, what's it doing this morning? LAC is up only 8 cents. So maybe there's a trade there here too. If lithium is, gonna have, this was $9. Maybe this is a play. I'm not in it. Anyway, with that being said, ONDS, that's another drone type name. I made a little bit of money there. It's hanging out, looking decent. Let it go sideways. We just did an orchestrated strike against Nigeria. Um, TSL is levered. I don't buy options on it. So it's just an ETF and I play it sometimes. Sometimes TSL is just easier to play and accumulate versus Tesla itself because the ranges are bigger and I have a lot going on. So just, psychologically it's all different. But anyway, it's fine. So yeah, this is fine. Hey, congratulations if you're in that. It doesn't matter much. Dash, trying to get tight here, trying to get better. Remember, Dash was one of our number one plays a year ago. When my friends brought it to me, it was like $1.44, and I told you guys it was going to get back to 257. It went to 283 through there from here, and now I feel like maybe it could rebuild here and be better. So that's something I like to look at here and there. Someone's like, why am I back in MSOS? You know what? My friend, I'm not even going to say who it is, who's an expert in the field, says that the news that everyone thinks is over hasn't even started. So a little present from Red Dog to you guys who are following me on a Friday during Christmas week. Go out and buy yourself the $7 calls for February. Just buy them. Buy the $7 calls in February, and then we'll chat, then. I'm not going to talk about it again. But the sector sucks. Cannabis has been in a bear market for a long time. Everyone hates it. There's still some more news to come. Just that's that from that. ASTS could probably need a rest. ASTS had the launch. They kind of sold the news. Pretty ugly candle outside day. If you used your sell rules, you were cool though. If you came in long ASTS, you could have sold it. I actually wrote 92. That's where it hit. So you sell strength. You sell if it doesn't hold a prior high, and then you sell when it goes red. All the sell rules would have worked for you if you did that with ASTS. And now it needs some time to rebuild and work off that candle. And then in time, I would think that this thing is going to take out 102. It's just a matter of, what month of 2026 will it do it? Will it do it in the first quarter? We shall see. Spotify, I don't really trade that, but I'll look at a few. It's looking all right. Last time I drew a descending channel, it was almost there, and it's, I guess, still going. Looks pretty good. It's getting tight in here. Getting tight. Stock's coming a long way, from 785, 748. It's definitely something you put on the radar here. If you can get above this spot. It's a tricky trader though. I don't love trading this. If you want to do something, you put on maybe some options and then see how it goes. Anyway, what's up, Richard? It is 6:53. I've been doing this for 23 minutes. I'm usually only allowed to do it for 20, and I usually never do this on a Friday. And I'm not going to do it on a Friday unless people sign up for Red Dog Mindset. If you don't sign up for Red Dog Mindset, A, you're never going to be able to get a Friday, and B, you might even lose Monday through Thursday. So for $10 a month, hit the subscribe button. Get involved. It's only $10. You get a lot more than just the 25-20 in the 630 club. You get a lot of great weekend stuff. You get a lot of great mind stuff. You get a lot of little bonuses. So if you've been enjoying the 630 club for free since 2020, subscribe above. And I'm really close to going Monday through Friday instead of just Monday through Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. Either which way, I hope you had a great holiday. If you're at your desk, try and make a little bit of money today. Iron, you want me to take a look at iron? Iron's getting tight. I actually bought some options. I bought some options for iron for next Friday, thinking that, hey, maybe it takes out this 43.50. So I have some of that, and if it can get above that, stock wise, I might even add to it. What's it doing this morning? It's up 50 cents, little volume. It's getting tight. I sold most of mine up there, played it pretty well. Then when it showed the relative weakness, but there's a spot here. There is definitely a spot where if we can get above that, there's still a big short interest. So I would think that, hey, gets above here, maybe it rebuilds. It didn't rebuild the way the high growth names did, but looks pretty good. Oh, and then somebody keeps asking me about, I'm accumulating a position in this for next year. A lot of my big boy institutional friends love this thing. They think it's going to be like 25 or more next year. You could buy options, nice big channel, some kind of spectrum deal. But but for me, I could do a little bit of a lot. Some things you're just trading because they move well. Some things you're accumulating. Some things, it all depends on what you can handle. I've been doing this for a lot of years, so I can handle lots of different types of trades. Just do what you can handle, but also learn a few new tricks. Like if you can only day trade, maybe next year day trade and put a little bit of overnights on. If you were really awesome long, and you're like, I'm not a great short because I know I'm not a great short. Short a little bit if you think it's going to go down, or buy puts. Figure it out. Add some new tools to your tool chest so this way you can make more money and navigate any market. If you're a one-trick pony, chances are that one trick's not going to work forever. You got to learn. You got to move on. You got to just figure out how to evolve and become a better version of yourself. And during this time of year, it's always a great idea to think about 2026. It's always a great idea to think about things you could do different, things you could do better. Write that crap down, not crap, and work towards it. Put it down on paper and get accountable to it. And maybe even think about it in the universe. Let the universe know these are the 3 things I'm going to do. So this way, if you do them, the universe will reward you. And if you're lying to yourself, you're going to be really upset. You're not going to like yourself, and you're not going to grow. And chances are you're working yourself backwards. Try not to work yourself backwards. Always move ahead. Little steps add to big steps. Just start somewhere. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if Apple could push it a little bit. Amazon could push it a little bit. Tesla could rebuild. Silver, I would trim it to strength. Bitcoin might try a little bit and play a little catch up. We'll see. But overall, lots of things happening. So hopefully, you're involved in your massaging positions and you're feeling pretty good about how you did in 2025. And if you're not, make some damn changes. The only way you can get change is by making changes. I'm going to go hang out with the Alpha team, do my 40 charts, and get the day moving along. You should as well. Listen to some music. Don't listen to the networks. This could be a January effect stock, this TTD. It's been annihilated. It's just poking its head up down there. I would go like this. It's a good song. I have them. I have a guy also out of New Jersey.
4 o'clock, it's got to stop. Tell her, take no more.